Welcome to this first look map tour with me, MrSealyp. So here we are on Fichtelberg. This is a map by Desperados93. It's new to console. I believe it's been out quite a while on PC. It has got 53 fields, 17 meadows. All of the meadows are free. It's free grass and it's everywhere. This is a very nice map. I like this one a lot. If you have watched any of my Let's Plays, if you've watched any of my first look videos, you know I like a map with undulations. I like a bit of topography. And while I'm standing here, look up to the sky, feast your eyes, and what you will see is a hot air balloon. Now, on lots of maps that have come out recently, we've been told you can't have planes going past, you can't have various different things in the sky, things won't work because it's console. Those hot air balloons are moving, and there are quite a few of them. And when you look around the map, or when you're driving around the map, you can see them all around the sky, and they are moving. They're probably following a set circuit, a set pattern, but they're there and they look great. So we start at the main farm on Fichtelberg. I need to get it right. It's not T before CH, it's CH then T, Fichtelberg. And we are at the main farm. I am facing north. North is directly that direction. And there we have east and south and west. So, let's have a quick look here. It's a fair sized map. Nice array of different sorts of fields. You've got a mix between rectangular fields, square fields, large ones, small ones, ones with curves. There's a bit of everything going on. There's hills, there's rivers, there's forests. There's a real tangle of roads and things that move all across this map. The terrain is brilliant. It's really, really nice. I know I say that a lot. I do like it. It's pretty good. So we start just left of central here at the main farm, and we start with field 16, and I believe we start with field 18. 16 and 18. I think they're the only two fields you actually start with. But like I say, all these ones that have a W there, 1, 2 and so on, they are all grass fields and nobody owns them. So any of those meadow areas, you are more than welcome to go and cut, ted, turn to hay, do whatever you want with them, which is pretty cool. Contracts, missions are available on the fields, and there are gold nuggets on this map too. All of those things, a happy bonus. Now, if we scroll across, the other fantastic thing about this is, look at what you start with. I've got this set on normal. You've got 25,000 litres of every crop. That's pretty impressive to start off with. I think that's really good. Prices are pretty good, pretty average as you might expect across Farming Simulator at the moment. And there are quite a few sell points. There are 6, I think it is, or 7. 7 sell points. 1, 2, 3, 4... No, 6. 6 main sell points. You've got a BGA, there's a spinnery, there's a couple of farms as part of those sell points, which is quite cool. We have got various different sell prices. I don't know what all of those things actually mean, what the names mean, but when we get to them, it'll make more sense. There is also a railroad on this map. Up in the top right hand corner, there is a railroad that runs round up in the top. We'll get onto that in a little while because that's got a nice little trick up its sleeve, which I quite like. So without further ado, we're going to get around this. There's quite a lot to see, so we'll do as much as we can. As far as vehicles go, we start off with a T5. Very nice. We start off with the Massey Ferguson little drop nose, 5600 or 5600, whichever you want to call it. We start off with a Fendt 900 Vario as well. That's pretty impressive. 300 horsepower off the bat, but that can be tuned up to 390 if you want to. Front loader attachment, bucket, bale spikes, cultivator seeder, water container, and we've got a feed mixer, which is pretty good off the start. A pressure washer, a workshop, and then 3 solar collectors, which is quite cool. That's an unusual one to be starting off with. So you're already going to be making a bit of money. Like I said, I've got mine set on normal, so it starts on 20,000 in the bank, but that will go up after the first hour automatically, having those in place. Interestingly though, What we don't have is a harvester or a header or a header trailer. There is no harvester yet. That's going to be something quite serious to work towards, depending on what mods you use, which ones you use, if it's in-game or not. There are some nice ones out there. So, quick look around the yard at what we've got available. There are some really nice touches from the map maker here, which I really like. We've got the rack in here, and we start off with some seed, liquid fertiliser and normal fertiliser. That's given to you. There's an absolute ton of barn space, open shelters and barns. We've got the Fent 900 just there, which I'm going to be using to go around the map. The barns are part, I think they're the shed pack, I'm trying to remember now. Very, very large sheds, and they do have light switches, which are just here. I apologise if I appear to be rattling through, but there is a lot to get round and a lot to see. If I move across to this side here, a few of these little sheds. We've got the seeder, and we've got the cultivator, and we've got the little T5. But it does say in this, there's a couple of these question marks that have baffled me as I had a quick look around this. Seeds and fertiliser, it says. With these big bags you can refill your tools with seed and fertiliser. Once they're empty you will have to buy them, but there aren't any. There are no big bags here. So that puzzled me, and there's no seed refill point here at the farm that I could find. But one thing I will look at while I'm here, and I do like, the textures and detailing of the grass areas, the weeds and flowers and bushes and things that are growing up. It's nice detail. It really breaks up. There is no lack of forestry on this map either. There's woodland everywhere. There you go, look, more hot air balloons. Chicken coop is here at the main farm, just off to the right, and behind us we've got our solar collectors. 1, 2 and 3. Although this one here, I think we might need to take a couple of trees down so it gets more of the light, more of the sunlight anyway, because that seems to be in shade quite a lot. The other two are fine, but anyway, that's the solar collectors. So back up through the farmyard. More barns on the right hand side. Like I say, don't start with a huge amount of equipment, so there's not much more to actually to look at with regard to equipment. There you go, gold nugget hidden down in there. So there are gold nuggets on this map. Whether you can collect all 100 or not, I don't know at the moment. I would assume so, but I often get people comment and ask, can you collect them all? I would assume so. I don't know for definite. Silo has a capacity of 100,000 litres. The unload point, or depends what you have, the loading point is there. The unload point is around the other side just here. There you go, silos. And then we come to the main gate here, which if I circle, and we'll move it across very nicely. And we've got a little track that runs here. We go off that side, we head towards the cows, the dairy barn. More barn space here, and we've got a weight thing. Like normally get the BJ here, which is unusual. I don't know why it's here at the farm, but there is one. That does open again. More barn space, loads of it for storage if you want to. More gold nuggets tucked away all over the place. One thing I did forget was this end of the farm. I'm going to kind of do, I think, a clockwise route round. That's the plan. We'll kind of see how we get on with that. But if we go further through this side of the farm, like I said, plenty of barn space, plenty of storage. You're going to need to have a huge amount of vehicles to run out of space here. But over on this side of the farm, we've got the workshop. Obviously, the workshop's one of those things. Take it or leave it, buy it, sell it, whatever you want to do. There's a toolbox available as well, obviously in the mod hub. So if you want to go with the toolbox instead, which might be quite handy. But that's there. That's where the workshop is. If you're looking for that, it's this side of the farm. So what we'll do now is head over towards the dairy part of the farm. We'll have a quick look at that, and then we'll start our tour round. But as you can see, already we've got our undulations. We've got nice fields. Gives it a really realistic feel, kind of sweeping up and down. The other thing about this map I found on the quick quiz round I've done, the different levels, and you'll see what I mean when I say about that. There are roads and bridges and the railway line, and some roads go under some and some roads go over others, and you've got fields at different heights and different levels, and I really do like that. So the little drop nose Massey is just around here at the dairy farm. The other thing you do start off with, which I think is brilliant, you get some bales to be getting on with. Got some straw, got some hay, I believe. I haven't checked that. I would assume it's hay. Oh, the other thing I did do before I came on, I put one of the geos on seasons. I put the snow one on, and as far as I can tell, there's no snow mask, because all of these barns all had snow inside them. So I assume obviously you can run seasons on any of the maps, but whether it's seasons prepared, there seemed to be a lot of snow inside the barns, so as far as I'm aware it's not seasons ready exactly. So animal trailer's just there, bunker silo, feed troughs along the front here. You have buying and selling of your cows is going to happen right here, 5,000. And if we go around to the other side, which is just around here, if I can get to it, we have got the manure point, we've got the slurry point, and then we've got the feed trough. Whereas the water trough, you ask? Well, the water trough isn't a trough, it's a dip in the ground. It's an unusual one. I went all the way around trying to find an entrance. The entrance into the field is actually here at this corner. There's a gap in the fence. And if we go through the gap in the fence and head over, now this is an unusual one, it's a new one on me, I've never seen this on the map yet. That's obviously the console ones that have come out, but this little area here, there's a dip in the ground, and it's got some hazard marks around it, but you can turn those off, of course, you don't have to have them on. The trigger is pretty much central here, so when you bring your water container over here and you unload, it kind of puts water into this dip in the ground, depression in the ground, which is an interesting one. I've never come across that before, but there you go, that's where your water goes. So if you're struggling, you can't find where it goes for your cows, that's where it goes. So what I'm going to do now, head back, grab a vehicle, and we're going to go around the map. Let's just scroll back across to the map here. Like I say, we start here at field 16, by field 16 at the main farm. I'm going to try and kind of do a loop around, out the top, around here, back down to the sell points here, and then kind of across and back. It's going to be an interesting loop anyway. We'll get around it, you'll see what I mean. But when we get to different points, I'll tell you where I am, and I might skip between certain points, but I will let you know where we are when we get there. So, off to go and get the fence. So, I'm in the fence, and I'm heading east, just out of the yard, towards field 16. And then I'm going to head south, and we're going to look at the forest first, right behind us. Now, this is the kind of the main forest on the map. That said, like I say, there are loads and loads of bits of woodland and forest and stuff all over the map. But this one here to the left is the main forest, and it goes up and down around the hills. But that's just literally south of the farm. The little track runs up there, and there's a few that zigzag and crisscross right the way across. But that's the main forest on the map. But as you can see, if I just kind of spin around and you look any direction you look in, there are trees. So there is no shortage of forestry on this map at all. If that's your thing, forestry, logging, wood chipping, there is plenty of it. Fields, I really like the sweep of the fields, some going up and down, side to side, bumps in the middle of some of them. They're not all plain, they're not all boring. There are plenty of rectangular ones, plenty of square ones, plenty of large size ones. Like I say, on the left hand side here, we've got one little tiny little meadow here with a little gap in the fence. A lot of the meadows do have fences round, there are no collisions on the hedges. But it also means you can extend farms out. A lot of the fields do have plenty of grass around them, which means you can extend them if you should choose to. Now I've just realised I've come the wrong way. No, I haven't come the wrong way. So another meadow on the right hand side here. If I just cut through the fence here, you'll see why. We'll come back round in a minute. Just cut across the grass here. We're going to come up to the first of the sell points that I'm going to show you, and there's not any particular order to them, but one of the sell points, let's just put it that way. So let's open that up. And the sell point is just here, tucked around the corner there. There's the sell point. Now I've got to work out which one this is. So into the map, we are down here. Now, as far as I'm aware, you say Getreideverkauf, is it? Getreideverkauf? I'm not entirely sure. But that's one of the sell points anyway, down towards the southern part of the map by field 31, or just above field 31. Like I say, we just went across field W10. No one owns it, plenty of space, plenty of grass. I think for doing animals and for doing baling and stuff, this map's going to be far easier than some of the ones you work on. So, let's get back into the tractor. So onto one of the main roads. Like I say, there are tracks, there are main roads. The other thing I like is all of the details. You've got your main roads, you've got your tracks, you've got your grass and trees dotted about all over the place. You've got the barriers, the impact barriers by the side of the roads in some places, fences in some places. It just... there's so much detail gone into it. Different sorts of bridges all over the place, like the one here, which goes over the river below. The river winds its way around the map. It just has a really brilliant feel. The views across the map are great. They really, really are. Forest on the left-hand side there, whilst it is on the kind of rocky side of the map, all those trees can be cut down. It's all there to be used if you want to. As I swing around here, we're going to head into the pig farm. The pig farm is pretty straightforward. There's no surprising water feature or anything anywhere unusual that you have to fill up or do anything with. It's quite a straightforward one. Again, plenty of barn space. Manure on the right hand side, just there. Feed trough to the right. Water trough just in front of us here. Buying and selling or unloading point is just there. Slurry point there. We've got a nice bit of barn space in here, should they want it. But this is another interesting one. It's not just a bog standard, slap it down on the ground and there you go. It sweeps round the back of the barn, so they can be round both sides. The other thing I like as well, different shed designs dotted around the place. They all fit, it works, they look right, you know. And also the lamps, I just noticed that as well, sorry, the street lamps. The street lights, again, not just a bog standard street light. It works. It's got a really good look and a good feel to it. So, backing up away from the pigs, or the pigsty. There are no pigs in it at the moment. You don't start off with any animals, which you do on some maps, but you don't on this one. I'm still blown away by 25,000 litres of each crop. I mean, that's incredible. So what I'm going to do now is head north-ish up the map, taking in some of the lovely scenery on the way. And we're going to head up towards the store, which you can kind of see looming ahead of us. So, turn off the main road just to the side. And we've got our vehicle shop with the gates to open. Now, interestingly, unlike most of the vehicle shops where the buy and sell point is up at the main building, there's a large area here where the vehicles will spawn, but the actual shop bit is here, the shop symbol for buying and selling of vehicles, which is, but it actually, when you come off of it, it puts you out in... That car hasn't really come up the side turn, it has, hasn't it? Well, that's interesting. I didn't think they would be coming up the side. But anyway, yeah, so the buy and sell point is right here. The blue disc you can see up in the building there is your sell point and customization point, which is actually in the building itself. So it's a kind of twist on what you normally get, but interesting nonetheless. If you decide to respawn a vehicle for any particular reason, you've gone down a ditch into a river, whatever it might be, and you want to respawn a vehicle, it does not respawn here. It respawns back at the main farm in one of the yard areas at the farm. So again, moving swiftly on. Actually, what I will do before I move swiftly on, let's whiz across here, jump the hedge, across the road, and we'll have a quick look. Contracts are available. Half a hectare field, 39,000. Field prices are pretty good, pretty average. If you look up in the top right hand corner now, you'll also notice my money's gone up. to 20,270. So I've made a little bit of money from the solar collectors. I think it's £90, euros or dollars per solar collector per hour. So that might pay for a few little things here and there. So like I say, missions are available as far as I'm aware. Missions are available on all of the fields you don't own, but again, I could be wrong. There may be some that it's not available on, but as far as I'm aware, it is all of them. So we are going to head again, carry on north. We're not going to follow the road round that way, because we're going to head to the BGA, which you can see just in front of us here. Missed that turning, almost. So, jump out, another gate. So, around into the BGA. I like the fact the domes aren't your standard BGA domes, slightly different colour. But the digestate, anaerobic digester, whatever you want to call it, your cell point is just here. And then over here you've got your digestate tank. Right here. What's interesting is the bunker silos. I mean, this one, the hazard marking strips mark out where it is, and if you turn on your help box, it comes up with field level chaff where I am now. For this one, if I go across to here, there's another one here, but this one here, this little one to the side, doesn't appear as one. So there are two right next to each other. I'm not quite sure how that would work, but there are two here. In those two hazard boxes, that big one there, that smaller one there, those are your bunker silos, which are fascinating. I've never come across anything like that before. But there you go, that's the BGA. So if I'm back at the BGA, now we've got a bit of a trek, and I'm trying to work out which way to go. I think I went this way before. Back out to the main road, we're going to head towards the sheep farm, I think. I'm sure that's what I was going to do. So, out to the main road. I might have taken a wrong turn already. Let me just check the map. Nope, going the right way, that's good. So, follow this road round and over the river. And then we'll take a left and we'll head up north-ish again. Now, like I say, there are sweeps and bends and hills, and I really do like the, I keep saying this, I like the feel of this map, I really do. I like the mix between fences and hedges, and some with, some without. I'm assuming that's a water point on the right hand side, couldn't be 100% certain, but I think it is. You've got rocky outcrops, you've got buildings, there's all sorts going on. But over to the left hand side here, we've got the sheep farm. So I'll just pull into the sheep farm here. Water trough. Feed trough. We go around the other side. We've got the buy and sell or unload point, which is just here, like so. And then we've got our wool pallet spawn point just there. Pretty standard fare for the sheep farm. Nothing much more to it than that, but that's right there. Now, we're going to head to the livestock market. But again, this is what I'm talking about. What I like about this map. What I'm really enjoying about this map. The roads go off in all sorts of different directions. I need to be heading northwest, which is over that way. So I need to turn over here. Because if I go on the main roadway, I've got to go all the way around, then come back on myself. So take this little shortcut up here. We come up this nice big steep hill onto another road which goes over the top of this one. Then when you look at the field over to the right hand side, I love the fact that it sweeps down from one height elevation down. It's not a standard field, it's not a standard shape. It's brilliant. And if you can just see down there in that little depression, there's the railway line. We're going to come back to that in a bit. So, heading this way, we're going to get a little bit more altitude. or forestry, if you so desire. Oh, we probably need to pay attention to the road rather than the forest. We've climbed quite a bit. Some fantastic views off to our side. And look out over that way. I mean, look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, Emerson's livestock market up here on the hill. The buy and sell point for Emerson's, rather than being a large area marked out, it's on the ramp right there. So that's where you need to go. And then we've got one of our sell points, another one of our sell points just here. And this is, what's it called? Andy's Farm? I think it's Andy's. Let's have a look. I'm sure it's Farm Andy. Yeah, Farmer Andy. There we go, Farmer Andy. Now, look on the map. There's this area here, and there's a sign. I couldn't make head nor tail of it. If you know what it means, drop a comment in the box. Let me know what it means. If you know what the area is for, I got the impression. There's the sign. I got the impression the fact there's a horse on it. It was for horse riding, racing. I'm not too sure. Breaking in horses, maybe. Which I suppose when FS19 comes out, would be absolutely fantastic. Or it's a go-kart racing track. I really don't know. But there's this area here, which is an unusual one. I'm not quite sure what it is. But there's a seating area as well, up around the back. If you know, drop a comment. Let me know what it is. That'd be brilliant. So, what I'm going to do now is skip a mine a bit. Because we've got to do that drive all the way back down that hill. We're going to go back down the way we came, back across the bridge. And the little shortcut I took up onto that bridge, I'm going to go straight across there. So I'll see you there in a moment. Right, we're coming back across the bridge. The little shortcut I took is just over there, and the sheep farm is just to my right. To the left, as we look further up the map, we've got field 22, 49, 8, 9, 34. There's lots of fields up that top corner. We're going to kind of have a quick look around there in a minute. We're going to do that by train, because there's a sell point for the train. It's just up by field 8, but we need to do that from the train. So we're going to head there next, down to the train line. I've got to remember where the turning was for that. More bridges, over the railway line we go. And right next to the railway line, we have got my mind's gone blank, the sawmill. Why couldn't I think of that word? The sawmill is just down here as well. So you've got a load and unload point with a crane down by the train, which is very, very handy. Farm dog not very happy this evening, I don't know why. He's a little bit whiny. What I will do is cut across the road here and have a look at the sawmill first, and then we'll come back. Probably would have done better if I'd have gone down the actual track. Now, this was the other question mark that I was talking about earlier, which baffled me. That says, beside road vehicles you can also control trains. At this place you can transfer goods from one train to the other by using the crane for big logs, or by loading or unloading crops from or to the storage building. On the other side of the building is the loading station. Well, there isn't a loading station building here. I don't know if that circle's in the wrong place, but there isn't one here. And there's only one railroad track, so you can't actually transfer stuff between trains. So I wasn't quite sure why that one was there, but it is. So, left hand side of us here, we've got the sell point for wood, or lumber, or timber. One of the things I always like, a map with a mill pond. And we have a mill pond. If you want to sell your wood, you can drop it into the mill pond. Sometimes it's a little bit easier, but there you go, mill pond. What you have also got there is like a little hydroelectric dam from the top to the bottom. If we go around, we might be able to see it from the other side, because we need to head round and see the wood chip sell point. If we go a little bit further around here, there's a little track that runs around the side, and it's just around here. Another crane for loading and unloading of timber. And your wood chip sell point is just here. If we just go around the side here, you'll be able to see the dam. There you go. Very much like the one on Goldcrest Valley. Runs up the hill and there's a little reservoir at the top of it there. Very nice. The farm's just over that way. What I did also test, I used the Aquatrans because when I said about finding out where the water went for the cows, I got the Aquatrans, I drove down across that field and into the river here, and it filled up no problem at all from one of the little rivers. So you can fill up your water from the water sources, you don't have to do it from a fountain. That was the other thing I remembered. I thought I'd check. Whoops, come the wrong way. Never mind. I'm gobsmacked. You start the map with a Fent 900. That's pretty cool. But then you don't start with a harvester, so I suppose it swings and roundabouts. Right, so onto the train. We'll do this very, very quickly, but this is something that I've never come across yet. Again, I'm playing on console. There are probably loads of maps with this on. So, start the train up and let's get going. This is a very, very short loop, and it is in the top right-hand corner of the map. That was very unusual. Anyway, it's in the top right-hand corner of the map. I'm trying. It's difficult because of all the trees to take in the landscape as we go around. And it really only services a small part of the map, which, whilst there is a train on here, you then question, is there a use for it? Really, I don't know. But the sell point for the train is just here. We're going over it now. Should see the tops open, I think. There you go. But yeah, that's there. We go over this bridge, but this is the cool bit. Let's zoom in. I've never come across this before. We've got a tunnel. Now, if I zoom in on the train, which I need to get to in a second, we're going through a tunnel, through the hillside. I've never experienced that before. I've never been on a map where there's been a tunnel. Then we come out the other side. Quite cool. Nice little touch. Nice feature. Now, this is one of the places where you would load and unload your grain and stuff, and you can load it onto the train. The unload point's there, and the loading onto the train point is just here, which you should see the car open as we go over very, very quickly. So yeah, but that's right up in the top right hand corner. We're in the northeast corner of the map, which is an unusual place to have it. There are still fields up here, but I'm assuming there aren't many roads, or it's difficult, I don't know. But like I say, it's nice to have a train on here. But again, train goes under, road goes over, all of that goes over the river, which, you know, it's giving you so many different levels to it all. It's not flat as a billiard table, it's got all sorts going on. Nice map. I think just by driving around it and looking at the scenery, you can see the level of detail on it. I'll get this to stop. Okay, so like I say, very, very short train route. Doesn't go very far at all, but it is there should you wish to use it. Now, I've got to remember the route I need to take from here. Let's turn this tractor on. I think let's go this way. So, back up away from the railroad and the sawmill. We'll take a right up here. Now, yes, I'm missing out. There's all sorts of fields and all sorts of stuff going on. There's no way I'm going to be able to show everything that's on this map. Absolutely no way at all. So I'm showing as much as I possibly can. Go under this one. I've got to remember. This is a nice little one as well. This little bridge with a little track running alongside the bigger road that goes that way. So, under here, I'm going to carry on this direction. Now, we're coming up on, or heading towards the main town, I believe it's Fichtelberg. But on the right hand side here, you've got, for all intents and purposes, another farm setup if you wanted to use it. There's a load of barn space here on the right hand side, open area there too. But there's barns here at this level. There's some more barns up on that level. Very, very big. But in one of these... which one was it? I think it was the smaller one over here. In this one here, we have got some pits for doing work on your vehicles, but there you go, another customization point. So you've got the workshop at the main farm, but there is one here as well. There may well be others dotted around in other barns elsewhere around the map. I'm not 100% certain, but there are a few. So, heading onwards. What a view, what a view. So, spin around the corner here, and then onto the road here. And we come into the main town. There's a diner on the right hand side, Fichtelberg diner, and we've got a bit of a cluster of sale points here. Nice bit of architecture, sculpture on the left hand side. So, I might do some foot, I'm trying to remember where it all is. Right hand side we've got an egg sale point. We got the side here, where is it? Just round the corner here. We have got, which is this one? Can't remember. This is another one that's got a German-ish sounding name. Bachstube Fichtelberg. Not sure what that means, but it's one of the sell points, which we're just on now. If I go left, hang on, if I go... I'll just check right here. Let's go that way. And that way. We have got another sell point here, which is Agrasius, I think it is. I don't know what that hazard marked area is for there on the left hand side. On the right hand side is the sell point. Now this is one that needs to be opened, but you can only open it from this end. If I press circle, it'll open up both sides. If I press circle again, it will close both sides. That's the sell point. If I do it from the other end and press circle, nothing happens. So if you come at it from the wrong angle and you can't work out why it won't open, you go to the other end, press circle, the trigger is at that end of the sell point. So, and then obviously over here, over here we've got straw and hay sell point. Very helpful if you're not sure where it is. That's by the Agrasius sell point. And then we've got the spinnery is tucked away somewhere. I'm sure the spinnery is here. Where was it? Mine's gone. I know it is because I saw it. It's all here somewhere. There we go. See the big ball on the roof? Just over to the right hand side there. You've got another hazard marked area which has got the wall sell point just there, and then we've got a fuel station just here. Now, something that's just dawned on me. There's no garden centre, and I don't remember coming across a bio sell point for seed and fertiliser. That has literally just crossed my mind. Whoops. Yeah. How weird. If anyone knows where the seed and fertiliser refill point is, unless it is at the farm, but it did say you need to buy, unless there isn't one, you just need to buy bags, big bags at the store and use them from there maybe. Okay, I'm not too sure, but anyway, we'll go past the Fichtelberg diner. We're going to head out to one of, if not the last sell point, before we head back to the farm. And this is the other, there's Farmer Andy and there's Farmer Seb, I think it is. We're going to head to Farmer Seb sell point, and then we'll head back to the farm, which shouldn't be too far now. But like I say, it's great. There's a bit of everything, and it's all done on a very, very nice map, very well created. Lots of great detail. I love the hot air balloons in the sky. It's just one of those small touches that you wouldn't notice if it wasn't there, because it wouldn't be there. But the fact it is, I like it. And they're drifting very, very slowly through the air. Wonderful. So we've got a roundabout. I know how people feel about roundabouts. Not always impressed. I need to go to the right, I believe. And if we come up here, we should get to the next one. Ah, there we go, just on the right hand side here. And if I've done this right, and I hope I have, come up on the sell point just here. This is Farmer Seb. I will check in the menu, I'm sure it was Seb. Let's have a look. Go across one. Yeah, Farmer Seb. Yeah, ag gracias. Yeah, not too sure where the buy and sell point for seed and fertiliser is, but that's Farmer Seb's sell point. So if you're looking for that, that's here on the main road. That's not far from the main farm. If I've done this right, the forest on the left hand side should be the forest just behind the farm. We should come up on field 16, which should be on the left hand side, and our entrance into the farm at the dairy. Now this have a look. Now, this is one little thing. It's a small niggle. It's a minor thing. But I love these water courses, but my only little... Oh, there we go, found a gold nugget. The water texture seems a little off to me. It's a minor thing, but I do like the fact the water runs down through the little culverts and down under the roads and all that kind of thing. I just thought it just didn't look quite right to me, but one of those things, I've got to point it out, because if I don't, people will say, why didn't you point it out? And, you know, and in pointing it out, I'm in no way slamming the modder, slamming the map maker. I'm not criticising or complaining, I'm just showing you what's there. It is there. So, field 16 on the left hand side is our field, one of the ones we start with, and we are back at the main farm. Have I missed things out? Yes, I have. Have I missed out big chunks of the map? Yes, I have. Have I shown you most of the important points, the sell points, things that I've noticed and picked up on? I've tried to. Like I say, there are going to be things I've missed. It is a first look, a whiz round to see what's where. If it helps you in any way, shape or form, that's fantastic. But we have found our way back to our farm, where we start. Now, I'm not wrong, am I? Just looking around thinking, are there any... There are no silos or anything like that for seed and fertiliser. So I'm assuming having that there and it talking about big bags that you have to buy it yourself and bring it over, or there are mods. There are quite a few mods available now for seed and fertiliser sell and buy points. Not sell points, what am I talking about? Purchase points. Never mind. But that's it. That's us. Gone round the map. Fichtelberg from Desperados 93. Very, very nice map. I like it. I like the details, like the textures, like the terrain, like the topography, like the, you know, I don't know. It's got a very, very nice feel to it. Reminds me a little bit of the Woodshire map in places. The views are fantastic. The elevation changes are great. I like the fact it's got a train. It would have been nicer maybe if the train line was a little bit longer, took in a bit more of the map, so it kind of made it a little bit more relevant maybe. I don't know. That's just me. I like the fact it's got a tunnel. That's pretty cool. Lots of things that are different and nice and changes to the norm. But that's it from me. That's my first look on Fichtelberg. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do while I watch this hot air balloon. Thanks for watching.